SciFri, SciFri, hey, check it out, it's SciFri Science! Hello and welcome to the first episode of SciFri. As this video is an intro to SciFri, I'm going to spend the first part of it explaining what this whole thing actually is. SciFri was an idea that I came up with, but according to Jules, inadvertently stole from NPR. Sorry, NPR. I love you. And basically, my idea is every time that I have a vlog that falls on a Friday, rather than just do a normal vlog, I would do a themed vlog based around discussing science. And science is a very broad term, so I guess to narrow it down, I'll say that more often than not, the topics covered during this segment will range most often from the field of medicine and the human body, but they'll also occasionally venture into the realms of astrophysics and even non-astrophysics, because that stuff's a lot of fun too. Oh, and of course chemistry. I can't forget chemistry. I love chemistry. Another part of this is the inclusion of guest speakers, who will mostly consist of our very sciencey and nerdy and awesome friends, just because they also have little sciencey tidbits that they're very excited about and are very eager to share. So without further ado, I will go into today's topic, which is, as introductory as ever, what is science? Actually, you know what? Let's ask David. David, what is science?
That's a good question, Emily. Science is the study of that which exists. Something exists if it has objective reality or being, but rather than getting into a loop of reality and existence, let's look at objective. Objective is defined as being unaffected by our thoughts and feelings.
Thank you, David. As David explained, science is based on the objective properties and phenomena that shape the universe around us. In other words, science is indifferent and unbiased. The laws that govern the world around us, the very same laws that science seeks to explain and in some cases manipulate, are constant and unaffected by our perception of them. And, as history demonstrates, humanity has at times found this to be an inconvenient truth. For example, science is the one that tells us the universe is not geocentric, a piece of knowledge that was initially very poorly received as it essentially toppled an entire system of religious beliefs. But before I go any further, I have to ask, David, what sort of tea are you drinking?
See, this right here is reality tea. It doesn't care that I think it's good. It's just good.
Ah, wonderfully pithy, that. And reality, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Sounds a bit cold, harsh, and probably a little bitter to me, but different tastes. I, at the moment, am actually drinking Snapple peach tea, and before you can protest at all, okay, this is tea. On the label, it is tea. It is definitely tea, and it's been hot lately. Too hot for, brewed tea. And iced tea is still tea. We saw it in London. That is definitive. So where were we? Ah, right. Science. So, science. Science, eh? Science. Science. Science, 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 science. Hope you're getting all this down. So as I had mentioned before, humanity has struggled with the disagreeable nature of science. Ancient and not so ancient civilizations were characterized by the belief that natural occurrences were the result of human actions, and dependent upon whether those actions were viewed as favorable or unfavorable by capricious and incomprehensible deities. Over history, ideas that countered this somewhat egocentric point of view emerged from brilliant minds, such as those of Greek philosophers, medieval humanists, and Enlightenment thinkers, true demonstrators of the human instinct for curiosity and inquiry. The products of the century-long discourse carried on by these giants are the scientific method and recognition of the value of scientific discoveries, both of which are crucial to the role of science in modern society. To sum things up, I see coming to terms with the fact that what we observe around us does not occur for us or with regard to us, is the realization upon which science is founded. Science celebrates the insignificance of our definitions while simultaneously encouraging us to, through careful study and observation, define as much as we possibly can. It teaches us to be active listeners rather than disgruntled naysayers, which kind of ties back to an analogy that really works for me, at least. I think of the universe and all of its components as a grandiose musical composition, and only once we recognize not only the melody, but also that we are not playing it and that it's not meant to be pleasing to us, though some may find it so, can we begin to figure out things like where it's coming from, what it means, why it sounds the way it does, and perhaps even further down the line, how and whether we can change it. And now to end things with a fun fact by the illustrious David.
Fun fact, linguistics is a branch of science.
See you next time, and remember, whatever you do, do it for science!